What is up? What is up? Welcome to the 4 Train Express. I got my guy NFE with me, and Mazza will be joining us very, very soon. How you doing, NFE?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Nice relaxing weekend, just hanging out, checking these games out, seeing how our boys are doing. You know, so
What's your early thoughts on spring?
I like what I'm seeing. I think I feel there's a night and day difference going into this season than there was last season. I think our guys at the plate when they go up to bat are looking a lot better. As opposed to where it was, a year ago. Our pitching looks good. I'm excited for our pitching. I know the Yankees kind of got clobbered today, but on a positive note, I was excited to see Nestor Cortez pitch well. So
yeah, he's been okay. Tell me your thoughts on Nestor. Do you think he's pretty close to being ready, or think anything he needs to work on? Do you think?
He's looking better. I mean, he gave up that one home run, but that was about it. Other than that, I mean, he took command. As long as he doesn't get knocked around too early, I mean, that would be the only thing. I mean, his first game, he gave up a bunch of hits.
Yeah.
But it looked like he fixed that today.
You're right. Other than the hanging cutter, which just kind of hung there, that was like BP. Apart from that, he got out of it. I have to be honest, I'm not totally blown away yet by Cortez. I think Nestor is the only question mark in the rotation because everything else is set. But he's definitely still a question mark for me. He wasn't great his first outing, kind of gave up a little bit too many hits. But what is good is he's getting out of these situations unscathed.
Yeah,
that's a positive.
Absolutely, and I don't want to say, Donald, that I'm like completely blown away. I guess what I'm getting at is I have seen some improvement from him.
Yeah.
So there's little progress being made, and that's the guy that I'm paying attention to a lot because I'm questioning him more than I am Rodon. So I'm confident with Rodon. Nestor Cortez is the big question mark for me in that starting rotation.
He's the only question mark for me. Like Stroman looks fantastic. We got Cole, who's like Picasso on the mound. Rodon, his velo's back up. He looks good. As long as he's healthy, there's no question about Rodon. And I think Schmidt will be fine. I'm wanting to see a little bit more of Will Warren. Hopefully, as spring goes on, I want to see some a chance for him to maybe make a run. Because I think the only question is the fifth spot in the rotation. Let's be honest, but I mean it's splitting hairs because I love how this team is put together. There's so much to be excited about when Mazda joins us in the chat, which he will in the next few minutes. We'll break down the offense and the title of the conversation tonight, but. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. What have we got? We got hello, Dennis. What up? CWE. What up? Mike Perez. What up? Yeah, Mazza should be with us soon.
Okay.
Jonathan. What is up? What is up? Rizzo. Look, we're gonna get.
Oh yeah, Rizzo's looking great. Yeah.
Rizzo. He looks ridiculous. We have Mike Perez, CWE. Whoa, who else we got here?
King of Jordans.
King of Jordans. It's good. What is good? What is good? Let's have a couple of other people in the chat. We got Aiden, Judge, and Soto are a great 1-2 punch this whole. You are so right, Aiden.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be getting into very, very soon. Rose for you, babe. Way better since both Manny and Ortiz used roids for many years. Yeah, so the question is Judge and Soto a better 3-4 combo than Manny and Big Papi? I think so, but it's all definitely on paper anyway. What is up, everybody? Volpe might lead off eventually. Dennis I want Torres playing more. Yeah, we're going to see Torres as the everyday second baseman. I don't think there's any question about that.
I wanted to address your question about the starting five real quick because
Hmm.
I really want to see Will Warren. I mean, definitely want to see Will Warren. That's the other name that I'm mainly paying attention to. I'm paying attention to all those guys, but Nestor and Will Warren are the two guys that I'm mostly focusing on.
Yeah.
I mean, Warren. So and I talk with Dane Huber quite a bit too.
Oh
With
yeah.
I talked to him this morning. He was on the show with me this morning on my live stream, but he is in agreement, and he's been telling me too that he thinks Will Warren will get called up sometime in the middle of the season. When, I don't know.
Right.
And that's what I'm thinking too. I think the starting rotation is going to be Cole, Rodon, Stroman, uh,
Schmidt.
Schmidt, Cortez. Whether it's
Yeah.
Schmidt or Cortez at number 4, I mean, take your pick. But I think the Yankees are gonna roll out that starting five. Cortez, I understand the whole argument of maybe putting him in the bullpen and having him come out the bullpen, kind of be that Michael King, pitch 2 or 3 innings. But I think he deserves a shot in the starting rotation. Let's see what he's made of. Just because he had an excellent 2022, let's not forget. And he actually pitched well in 2021 as well. So he looked great those 2 years. 2023, it was an off year for him, but that's because he had that strain on his rotator cuff. He was shut down, so it just wasn't his. It just wasn't his year. So let's just hope that he bounces back. But I think that's going to be the starting five. But if should an injury occur, Will Warren's he's ready, so he'll be called up.
So you don't think that there will be another move before the end of spring to maybe add another starter? Maybe say like a Dylan.
That question. Okay. I don't know. I think my prediction, and I've been wrong before. I see them rolling with the team that they have right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of pitching depth right now. I mean, their bullpen is loaded. They got some good names, and I think with this rotation that they have right now, I see them moving forward with what they have. I mean, unless they surprisingly trade for Dylan Cease or sign Blake Snell, but
I don't see Snell as a possibility. I think
I don't see it either.
Yeah,
right.
I think Boris screwed his client there. So I'm kind of done with Blake Snell with regards to that, because it just doesn't make sense. 110% on the dollar is hard to justify. I think what they're going to see is this is going to be it for the next few weeks, and I think you're going to see that Cortez and Schmidt will have every opportunity to stamp their spots in the 4th and 5th spot. However, if one of them implodes or one of them gets hurt, I would not be surprised if you saw another move made.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, a couple of people like Sean Browning is asking, would you trade for Shane Bieber away for free agency? Listen, I'd be okay with trading for Shane Bieber, even if it's 1 year. He wouldn't cost as much, and I'd still be okay with a Dylan Cease. The White Sox just need to come down on their asking price. I'm not moving Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez or I'm sorry, but I'm going to include Chase Hampton in that. Yeah. I know some folks might be in favor of that. I'm not personally.
Okay.
I was talking with Dane Huber this morning. He said he would move Will Warren, and I was a little surprised by that. I was a little taken back by that, but because he thinks that guys like Chase Hampton has better stuff, which, yeah, I can see. Chase Hampton kind of reminds people of Garrett Cole. He has that bulldog mentality in him, which, that's good to hear. And, Warren is, at best, he's going to be like a number 3 starter.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to be like a number 1 starter or anything like that. But I mean, I'm okay with him not being a number 1 starter as long as
we don't need him to be a number 1 starter. We've got a number 1 starter.
Yeah, we got Garrett Cole, and we just need to utilize his years and make the best of it. So, could they make another move? Absolutely, they can. I'm not ruling it out. But my guess is that I think they're going to move forward with what they have, and guys like Schmidt, I really think he's going to pitch well. I'm really confident in that because last season he was the only other dependable pitcher in that rotation other than Cole.
You're
I don't
right.
know.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we talked to Jabba on this channel, he was very complimentary of Clark Schmidt's stuff.
Yeah.
Schmidt's got excellent stuff. I agree. I've always liked Clark Schmidt. He was a little inconsistent at times last year, but then he got a nice run of consistent, decent starts where he was giving you consistently 5 innings, 6 innings with less than 3 runs for a good run there last year. So I like him, man. I like him. I think he's a very solid 3 or 4. But as Cashman said, it's not pencils down by any means. So I think he'll be waiting out the market. I'm in complete agreement with you. Spencer Jones is 100% unavailable. If I wasn't going to make him available for Corbin Burns, I'm sure as hell not going to make him available for Dylan Cease. So under no circumstances, actually, there's not one person I want to consider trading Spencer Jones for right now. That's how I am on Spencer Jones. I think Spencer Jones is ridiculously good.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Sorry.
No, yeah, finish your point.
No, I was going to say with Spencer Jones, and I said this last night on Jason's live stream. The only way I move Spencer Jones, if it's for an elite pitcher like Corbin Burns, they need to come with 3 years of control.
Oh, then
there could be an argument to be made there because having 3 years of control of a guy like Corbin Burns, for example, I mean that would add volumes to the starting rotation. But for 1 year, I am not moving Spencer Jones. And Jones has shown us what kind of potential he has. And I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on him just because he's still developing himself and he's still he's progressing, he's playing better. And I think at some point he'll probably I'm sure he'll get a call up, probably around September would be my guess, but that's just a guess. But I'm still waiting. We're still waiting for Dominguez to make his comeback. So,
yeah, no, from everything I'm seeing of Spencer Jones, I think he's everything that we're hearing about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see his athleticism. You even saw it the way that he tracked down a ball in center field earlier today, right at the wall. Just really nice athleticism, really smooth fielder, and that home run that he hit that was like 500 feet.
Yeah.
That was just insane. So I'm super excited about him, man. I think we all should be. And we're all just dreaming of the idea of having like a Dominguez and Jones and Judge and Soto. Can you imagine that in the same team? That's ridiculous.
I see it happening. I envision that.
I do too. And sooner rather than later. I really do. So let's see what we got in the chat here. We got Sean.
Yeah. Check the chat.
DJ, Soto, Judge, Rizzo, Torres, Stanton, Verdugo, Volpe, Trevino / Wells. That's a gauntlet of a lineup. It is, Sean. Yeah, we should break down the lineup very, very soon. CWE says Snell signs mid-season. What a disgrace that would be for Scott Boras. If the Cy Young winner has to wait until mid-season to sign. Where does he go? Because it ain't going to be the Yankees. Where's he going to go? Because the Giants are out. The Giants say they're not adding anyone. So that leaves the Angels or the Phillies.
So I could, you know what? I've been saying that the Phillies or that they could be that dark horse team. They really haven't done anything this offseason other than signing back Aaron Nola. So, and they were in talks with Zach Wheeler about a contract extension, but nothing. There was no updates as far as that goes. They could very well sign Blake Snell to just like a 1 year deal.
Yeah,
I can totally see that happening. And I mean, man, if the Phillies add Blake Snell, that 3-headed monster right there with Nola, Snell, and Wheeler, or however you want to put the 1 through 3, but I know Nola is going to be number 1. Like that's going to be a serious threat in the NL East, and the Braves should watch out. So if that were to be the case, but at this point with Blake Snell, it's like maybe the Phillies, maybe the Angels. I know the Angels said they had interest in him, but they haven't made an offer. The Yankees are the only team that made an offer. So I mean, who knows what's going on with Snell, with Monty. I mean, my God, it's like these guys should not be free agents.
No, it's a disgrace.
This is it is a disgrace.
Monty, where do you think Monty's going to go?
Monty, man, I had him potentially going to Boston. Obviously his wife is doing the residency over there. Maybe the Baltimore Orioles, even just because one of their pitchers is hurt.
Yeah,
or like a couple of their pitchers is hurt. So I could potentially see Montgomery maybe going to the Orioles, especially under this new ownership. So this new ownership is probably going to spend some money. So we'll
is
see what
that
happens.
money available right this second? Or
that's what? That's a good question. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they don't take full ownership till like April. So probably next month.
Maybe we'll see what happens in April. Otherwise, there's always the Mutts. The Mutts have been picking up the Yankees scraps basically all off season. So why not add another ex-Yankee?
Yeah, I mean, the question is, does Monty want to go to the Mets? I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, you couldn't pay me to go to the Mets.
I mean, no, you couldn't pay me either. Facts on facts, my guy. Yeah, you couldn't pay me either, bro. Because yeah, absolutely not. I think Boston just makes the most sense. I mean, unless the Yankees pull a surprise and say, all right, we're bringing back Monty, which I would welcome it. I would welcome Monty over Snell, not because Snell is a bad pitcher. I like Blake Snell. It's just, the Yankees wouldn't have to give up 2 draft picks, which that's not necessarily the biggest concern, but it's the IFA money that they will lose out on. And that IFA money is attached to a player that they got. And that player, and I forget his name, but he's, sold high. He's being highly spoken of. So again, and that information was I was getting from Dane again.
Right.
So
Monty will definitely be cheaper than Blake Snell.
Definitely
cheaper. But I'm wondering if the Yankees will be thinking. I think the Yankees prefer Blake Snell, to be honest. I think they're kind of done with Montgomery. I think the relationship is over from both sides. I think Montgomery would rather move on. I don't think he liked the way the Yankees used him. They didn't utilize him the best. We know that for a fact. So I think that he'd like to go elsewhere. I think the dream was the Rangers, but the Rangers have no money. So it's been such a weird offseason because the money is just not available. And what I find amazing is that Scott Boras is paid to know how and to predict and to read how off seasons are going to go and where the money's going to be and which teams are going to be into which player. And he has completely missed the boat. It's like, bro, were you sleeping? Like, how did you miss what's going on? Like, I could have told him that once that Yamamoto contract went through, that changed everything. It changed everything. It just changed the market. It set an unrealistic bar for contracts, and then Boras tried to match that with the 9-year start for Boras for Snell, and that's just insane. No one's ever going to go near 9 years for Blake Snell. So he did it to himself, and the Yankees were like, "We will offer you 6 years." And we'll negotiate between 25 to 27 to even 28 mil per year. We're very flexible. And then they didn't come back. So that's on them. That's on you, Boras. That's on you, Snell.
Yeah,
You missed
I
it.
mean, yeah, there. I mean, Boris. I mean, I understand Yamamoto getting the 10-year deal that he did from the Dodgers, but you got to also keep in mind, Yamamoto is also 25. Blake Snell is
Yeah,
31. I don't
great
know.
point.
I can't. I don't know what team is going to want Blake Snell till he's 40.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want the Yankees to do that. I don't want them to shoot themselves in the foot, and no team is going to take that risk. And that was the problem. I think Boris kind of, he misread the market. I think he
yeah,
thought, okay, since Yamamoto got this type of deal, then you know what? Oh yeah, I'll be able to get like a big, fat money, fat contract for my guys, and which he didn't, because we saw what happened with Bellinger. We saw what happened with Matt Chapman. They signed some short-term deals with some opt-outs. And if I were those guys, in my opinion, I wouldn't opt out because there's not going to be a team that's going to give them what they want. I would stick with what they have.
that's right.
And yeah, I mean that's just me. But yeah, Boris, he shot himself in the foot, and he shot his clients in the foot too. Literally, like
Yeah,
he
he
is.
imagined there'd be a massive bidding war for his clients, and that just wasn't the case because we already know that I would say about a third of the majors of the major league teams actually want to spend money. There's not a lot of teams that actually want to spend significant money. Certainly not in the Blake Snell range. And
Yeah,
so then you also consider other factors that a lot of these teams aren't actually competing right now. The Mets, they're more aiming for 2025. You get the Red Sox, they're more aiming for 2025. So there's teams that could potentially have the money, but they've got a kind of a plan in place. And like for instance, the Giants, like you had the owner just talk yesterday saying that for him the offseason's over because it would actually do more harm than good to add significant people at this point in spring because you don't really know when Snell's going to be ready. Like Snell, if even if he was signed like tomorrow, he's still going to need to go through a full spring, and so he'd probably miss maybe the start of the regular season at this point. So it's really all on Boris. He's completely misread the market and he's screwed his clients and it's a shame as a baseball fan. I want Blake Snell to be signed. I don't care where he goes. I always appreciated him as a pitcher. I think he's a great pitcher. The thing is, with analytics, they're probably arguing. Some of these analytics guys are arguing. Okay, so Blake Snell's wanting 9 years, 5, 6 years, 7, 8, 9 years, but he only gives us 5 innings. Like they'll work out the metrics. Is it worth that financially? And I think that's what we're seeing here, where there's a lot of these teams are just going, well, it just doesn't match up. This guy isn't going to give us length, and we can't guarantee him for a long time. So, is it really worth kind of giving him the kind of money that Boris is requesting? And the answer is an undeniable no.
yeah. Oh yeah. And then shout out to Rob who's in the chat. What's up, Rob?
My brother
Yeah.
from another mother.
Yeah, make sure you guys smash that like button. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get Mazda to 500, and then make sure you guys are subscribed to Pinstripe Chronicles podcast over there with Donald, Rob, Uncle Tats. They do some amazing work over there. So I've been rocking with these guys for a little while now, and then give me some love too, the Strike Zone. So
Yeah, give love to the Strike Zone.
yeah.
Where's Mazza? Mazza will be
Oh, there he is!
right now, baby.
And he pops up.
What's up, boys?
Boys are back in town.
Dude, Wink the Man asked this question literally a second ago, and then boom, you popped in.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
Telekinesis, Kyle.
Awesome.
Oh,
You all right, man? Everything good?
Yeah, I just
Oh. Kind of cutting out. It's all good. Maybe when he gets to his room.
Now that we got the man back. Let's get into what our main topic is. Is Judge and Soto a better 3-4 combo than Manny and Big Papi? So everybody in the chat, give us your opinions. My opinion is yes on paper, but we obviously need to see it play out. But at the moment, like this is the best combo I think we've seen in a long time. It's just historically good because how many times can you actually say that legitimately number one and number two best hitters in all of baseball are in the same team?
It's very
protecting
rare.
each other in the lineup. It's
rare.
That's it. So
I think the last time we saw
Manny and Big Papi were never 1 and 2 as the best hitters in baseball. They're fantastic at what they did, but they were never best all-around hitters in the game. They never were.
Right.
So, but Judge and Soto legitimately are.
Yes, absolutely. And the great thing about that is we can say that in our lifetime we got to see the two best hitters on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a question I asked on my live stream is do we think that Judge and Soto are going to be the biggest back-to-back threat this year against all opposing teams?
Yeah,
I think they are. Absolutely.
Yeah,
because if you don't pitch to one, you have to pitch the other. So either way, you've got to deal with another, giant of a hitter. So it's not like you're getting a break. If you don't pitch to Soto, who's going to make you work and make you throw him strikes, then you've got to pitch to Judge, who's just the exact same way, except for the right side of the plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, as far as being better than Manny and Big Papi, on paper, yeah, because it's just, Soto, it has a lot of, he knows how to get on base. He knows how to work the pitches. He could draw those walks. Right, he can lead off the inning, and he'll get he'll get on base, whether it's a walk or he'll go on a double. He could hit those home runs. So he's very versatile at the plate. So he's not
Absolutely.
like a one-hit pony, right?
No,
Judge,
and that's the thing. For a 25-year-old, he has a very good eye at the plate.
Yeah, his plate discipline is amazing. I will say his plate discipline is fantastic. So let's not forget that either. And Judge, he could hit bombs all day. So
Dennis is right. Judge is over 2 and 3. No,
yeah, 2, 3. Yeah, no, I get it. My fault.
2, 3, 3, 4, same difference. You still got to deal with both of them.
Yeah, yeah. No matter what part of the lineup it is. So,
that's it. So, let's the debate. Let's try and break them down. So, like, if you name the biggest Yankee killers of my lifetime, it's Manny and Papi. Like, there's no
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
seen bigger. So I'm not diminishing them at all. Papi was terrifying. Every single time Papi was up at the plate, I was like, "Oh my god!
Oh shit! Where are we going now?"
He was frightening. But they were never legitimately the best hitters in baseball, like number 1 or number 2. Like they were maybe top 5, but for me, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are 1 and 2, whichever way you want to put it. Maybe Soto 1, Judge 2, as the best hitters in the game right now. I think he's a better hitter than Ohtani. Ohtani's phenomenal. He's probably number 3. I think Judge and Soto, their all-round games are a way to get on base, bat for average, hit for power, like hit 50, 60 runs in their sleep, like
driving in runs.
Yeah,
they find ways to produce, which is probably one things in baseball that we don't see anymore, and it's become a lost art. Is finding ways to drive in runs, and those two do it so well and so consistently, it makes it almost impossible to want to pitch to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony.
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to bring up the original point here. Way better since both Manny and Ortiz used roids for many years. So yeah, I mean, like, there's no question about it. Like, man, he did steroids. Like, there's not even a question about that. And Big Papi certainly did. I don't think there's any question about that either. And that is an argument. It's a fair argument because Judge and Soto are incredible athletes that don't need steroids. So
you can't take that away from them. That's the thing. So, here's CWE's comment. I hope Soto plays against the Mets and destroys them.
Yeah. You and me both. All of us. All of
Smash
us.
that like, guys, if you haven't. I want to first off thank Donald and NFE for holding it down for me while I was at work. I apologize for that and being late, but Donald and NFE, you guys are awesome. Thank you for holding that down for me.
You got
Always,
it, man.
bro. We got your back.
And, there's something I thought about on the –
We have to talk about Juan Soto. We have to talk about Juan Soto's spring. Me and
I was just going to get into that.
Off air, we're just like, holy shit.
So we looked up his numbers, and they are video game numbers. It's unreal what his numbers are. Donald, do you want to give those stats? Because I don't remember them off the top of my head.
Our brother Soto is batting 667. 667. That man is never out.
What's his OPS that you were saying?
Oh, his OPS? Oh, only 2,600. 2,600 OPS. Bro, if you had MLB The Show and played it on rookie mode, you wouldn't come up with a 667 batting average and 2,600 OPS. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs.
Juan Soto is not human.
He
is not human. Yes, he is not human. I swear to God, I said this to NFE earlier. I said, I swear to God, Juan Soto is not human. He's like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that. And I'm like, I swear to God, I think this guy is part machine. Because that's all he does is gets on base and hits home runs.
I know. Bro, and you see the swings? Like, this thing is perfect. He's never late. It's just like, bang, and they're going like 500 feet.
I mean,
the doubles are terrifying.
Yeah.
Even with the crushing doubles, oh, shit.
And we were talking earlier before you went live, and we were talking about how he took that Chad Green slider at his chin and destroyed it.
I know. NFE, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, my expectations of Soto are it's exactly what I wanted to see from the man. However he's been throughout his career, he is continuing that consistency.
Absolutely.
And I hope and I feel confident for years to come he's going to continue that consistency. And I'm going to, maybe I should tread slowly. You guys tell me, but I think the Yankees are going to sign him back. I have no doubt in my mind. Like, I know some folks feel like, oh, they're not going to pay him. I'm like, no. I was like, they didn't just trade for this guy just for him to be a one-year rental. Like, they didn't trade away all that pitching that they had just to get Juan Soto. I mean, yes, they got Trent Grisham in that trade too. But, Cashman and Hal are not going to let a generational player like that just
walk away.
There's absolutely no way. I don't see it. I don't know how you do that. And especially, if you're trying to win and you want to stay on Judge's good side, I'm just saying, because.
And, you're right, though, NFE. He makes him. I say you give them a blank check.
Yeah.
With a blank contract and say, put the years you want, put the dollar value you want, no negotiation, whatever you put, you're going to get. And leave it at that.
There's not a number or a year that is a no deal for me.
And the thing is, whatever you pay.
Years? Ow,
Exactly.
yeah. Well done, baby. He's 20. What? He's
25.
So young.
25.
That's crazy, man.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
he's gonna
pay
be
him,
26 in October.
whatever you pay him, right? You're just going to make that money back. You're going to make that money right back. So it's not
yeah,
going to
you
hurt
will.
you. Whatever he's going to pay for himself with all the merchandise sales, all the he has, that's Yankees, it's going to pay for his contract next year. He's going to pay for himself. You don't have to worry about that.
1 billion. I mean, he is
1 billion, 20 years.
Nothing is beyond belief. Like, my God, if Otani gets got 700, I mean, Soto's better than him.
Soto's way better than him. It's not even a question. There's
That
no
isn't a
argument to that. He's he's arguably the best player in the sport.
Oh, yes, he is. I can safely say that because I have never seen what I've seen in frickin'
You know
spring
what's
training.
crazy? He's younger than Adley Rutschman by a year.
It's
And
unbelievable.
Adley Rutschman is the best catcher in the sport right now. And Soto is younger than him by a year. And he's the best player in the sport altogether.
Bro's younger than most rookies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just he's young. I mean, he's gonna be box office this year. And I've never seen the kind of at bats that he's been putting together in these 9 at bats, man. I've never seen anything like it. It's so exciting. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been so impressed with Juan Soto so far in spring training. I was just like, this guy. I know it's only spring training, but what he's done so far, it's just impressive. It's absolutely impressive. I can't even begin and describe how I'm feeling about this guy. Like I can't find the words. You know, it's just it's Juan Soto. So, yeah, I know we're trying to get is it back. Okay, yeah, looks like some connection problems there. All right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. But
what
you know,
I was saying, Mazda, that I can't begin to find how I feel about Juan Soto because it's like he's just one of a kind. You know, you just don't know how to describe him. You know,
he's a man that's making
you know
like
what?
box office.
Look at this comment from Rob, and we can forget just how much better he makes everyone else around him.
Facts.
I mean, absolutely right. And one thing that I have said is, who's the one player he's going to make so much better and elevate their game?
I know the answer, but let's see if Donald knows.
Do you know,
Well,
Donald?
I mean, I would say Aaron Judge. He helps Aaron Judge massively because he protects him. But
who's the one young star that we have that he's going to make better?
Well, Jason Dominguez or Spencer
Bingo,
Jones.
right there. That's it.
Yeah.
Jason Dominguez. He's going to elevate Jason Dominguez's game tenfold. That is going to be the perfect mentor for him. Think about it. Jason Dominguez is what, 21?
Yeah, 21 years old.
21 years old?
Yep.
Okay, so he's still a baby in the league. Juan Soto's been around for almost 6 years and completely owns Major League pitching. So if you think he's not going to get into the ear of Jason Dominguez, you can think again because, okay, so he's 20. Rob says.
Actually, I just looked it up. He's 21. He turned 21 a month ago.
Okay, so he's 21. So
Still
he's going to
young.
make that 21-year-old. He's going to make that 21-year-old so much better than what he is now. You think he was good last year when he took Verlander deep? Wait till Soto gets into his ear.
Dominguez was amazing. In
Yeah.
that short
Yeah.
time that we saw him. Actually amazing. And you look at his age, he was 20 when he was doing that shit. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for Dominguez. It really is.
Yeah. Think about what's going to happen when Soto gets in his
He's
ear.
going to be a mentor. It's a great point.
Yeah. So
Uh,
that
there's
leads
also
us.
other guys that he's going to help because FL Diver says two players, Judge and Martian. Sean says Volpe or Dominguez. And Sean also says Judge and Rizzo. And I agree with all those names.
Yeah.
Because
CWE brings up a point: is Dominguez will be scary. Absolutely. With that kind of mentorship, you have to believe he's going to elevate that game because he's going to want to listen and he's going to want to pay attention to what he says because he's someone who is so.
Your line, you're breaking up a little bit there.
Yeah,
Mazza.
yeah, the connection again, but
Connection
yeah,
issues, but yeah,
but
we
Soto,
get the gist of what you're saying. NFB, what were you saying, my guy?
No, I was just saying that Soto is going to be a great influence on guys like Dominguez, but I think he'll be a good influence on any of the youngsters, really, man. I mean, not just Dominguez. I think he'll be a good influence for also Anthony Volpe. You know,
Yeah.
I think he can. I think Anthony Volpe can learn a thing or two from Juan Soto as well. So any of the young guys, really. I mean, Volpe, Dominguez, who else? Spencer Jones, even. I mean, he could probably teach Spencer Jones some things. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
I also think that we're already seeing Anthony Rizzo a different guy, and it's not just
absolutely.
It's not just post concussion. Obviously, he's the concussion was a big aspect, but the fact that he's going to be batting after Soto and Judge, he's going to get pitches to hit, right?
Yes.
Because there's going to be pitches that'll be like, I don't want to face Aaron Judge. I don't want to face him, right? They'll walk him, and then Rizzo's going to get a pitch to hit, right?
Yep.
Because they don't want to then have to throw fastballs to Gleyber Torres or Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, probably Gleyber Torres because Stanton is struggling to catch up to fastball still. So it'll probably be Torres in the 5-hole. So, I mean, that's just a crazy lineup. Crazy. Yeah. So Rizzo's going to get pitches to hit, and you're seeing it, man. He is matching in spring.
Yes.
I know it's just spring, but these guys are locked and ready to go, and it gives me a good feeling how this lineup's going to play
at
the end of the month.
Some folks were like, they were being somewhat dismissive of Anthony Rizzo. I don't know why. I was just like, he was having a great year before he collided with Tatis. So he's been playing well this spring, and I think this upcoming year he's going to play great. He's going to play great. Just he's going to look like the Anthony Rizzo that we all know. And CWE, I wanted to point this out real quick. He says that if Volpe improves, he should lead off. But I think Volpe, if he can show some improvement this season, maybe put him in a leadoff role at 25-26, the year 2025 or 2026. Maybe you put him in that leadoff role. For now, I would hold off.
1,000% agree.
Okay.
You're spot on, NFE, because there's no need to put unrealistic pressure or expectations on someone in his sophomore year. There's just no reason to do that.
Yeah.
Especially with how stacked this lineup is. You also don't want to kind of slap DJ LeMahieu in the face or Verdugo and move them way at the bottom of the order and have Volpe there because it kind of messes things up a little bit. I like the idea of having DJ LeMahieu getting the majority of the time leading off. He's earned that, and then I think Verdugo in certain situations as well will get an opportunity. And also, like, we just need Volpe to become a better hitter. And the best way to do it is to be consistent. And I think consistency at the bottom of the order where there's not much pressure on him and he can just focus on doing his thing and getting consistent at bats, gaining consistent habits as a young player, learning from the veterans around him. and you're going to see him take a jump. And if I expect him to do so, also is his swing's better. It's leveled out as well. So I think the best way to do it is to take the pressure off him. We don't need him to be a leadoff hitter yet. He doesn't need to be that yet. We just slowly grow him at the bottom of the order, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, here's the thing with with Volpe. There was just a lot of pressure on him from last year, and he felt like he had to carry this team on his shoulder. And anytime you compare somebody like him to like a Derek Jeter, they were even comparing him to Dustin Pedroia. It's like, let's stop the comparisons. Like, let's stop trying to compare these guys to players from the past, because then if they don't perform up to those types of expectations, then we write them off. And then we say, oh, well, we should just send him back to the minor leagues, or why do we have him? Like, this guy sucks. You got to let's give these guys time to develop and see what they're made of. And hopefully, in year 2, Volpe improves. And the way he's been looking at the plate, he's been looking a lot better. I mean, his swing, his bat is looking better. He's not necessarily trying to swing for the home run ball. Like, he's trying to hit for contact, which is good.
Yeah.
He's trying to get on base. That's what we want. And
who's this?
Get on base
Volpe.
and start stealing.
Who's this?
Volpe.
Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, I think Volpe needs to start doing that more. Not worry about the home runs. So,
and FL Diver has a question for us here.
Okay.
He's asking panel, if Rice continues to struggle, does anyone see Yanks picking up Rizzo's option?
No.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I don't. I think Rizzo's had a few nice years here, not to take away what he's done for us, but I think they are looking to possibly get money off the books so they can re-sign Soto to make it easier. As far as, Rizzo goes, I love Rizzo on this team. I do. He's a great leader. He's a great mentor, but I think the Yankees are going to let him walk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, there's a caveat to that, though. There is already a lot of money coming off the books.
Yes, this is true.
2, we don't know yet what kind of year Rizzo is going to have. If
That's
Rizzo
true as well.
has a 25, 30 home run year and plays excellent defense, he's best friends with Aaron Judge, so there's that locker room chemistry. He's a leader. If he proves that he could be healthy all year and give you 25, 30 home runs at the cleanup spot, it would be hard to just let him walk, because you're not guaranteed to bring Soto back yet. So, and we don't really have an option after him yet. Like, Rice is still young, and I mean, you could move LeMahieu over to first base, but I kind of like LeMahieu as more of a rover, and I don't necessarily. I actually like lefties playing first base. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of righties playing first base. I got some of the bats from the right side to play
That's
first
fair.
base. I like guys that bat left. So I'm not going to close the book yet on Rizzo. If you asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would be completely in agreement with you. But I'm seeing a different Rizzo. Like, Rizzo looks like he's healthy and he's ready to go. So I'm not going to close the book on that yet. I wouldn't close the book on Rizzo just yet, guys.
Yeah, would I be surprised if the Yankees picked up his option? No, I wouldn't be, but I could also see the Yankees pivoting to Spencer Jones. And
that's great point.
That's the thing. That's what that's what I envision. So I was thinking about that too, because I'm like, well, if Rizzo has a good year, the Yankees could pick up his option, but I could just see them pivoting towards Spencer Jones. And they do have to get younger anyway, right? Yeah. So that's the other thing. So they're trying to build with it with that youth that they have mixed in with those veterans.
I think that there's sorry to jump in, but just to
you're good.
piggyback off your point, don't you think that the person who's most likely to be a threat to be leaving the Yankees next year would be Stanton rather than Rizzo? Because Stanton's spot as just a DH, if he struggles this year and Rizzo plays well, you could see a situation where Stanton's moved on, Rizzo stays at first, and then you've got that option of Spencer Jones getting maybe some opportunities in the outfield. You can maybe give a chance to some guys getting some DH spots, the veterans to get some DH spots for 1 year until they make a full decision as to how the outfield's going to align, or maybe even Spencer Jones at first base, because there'll only be 1 year for Rizzo after this if we were to pick it up.
Right. That's entirely possible too. There's also the possibility, I was talking with Dane about this morning when he was on with me. He thinks that the Yankees could eat his contract, Stanton's contract.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility because, for one, Stanton has said that he would only want to be traded to one team, and that's the Dodgers. But I highly doubt that the Dodgers would take him, and he's not going to waive his no trade clause for any other team. So, if he has another bad year where he hits 191, which I hope he doesn't, do the Yankees just leave him on the bench and not have him play? I mean, or are they just going to cut him? I think it makes more sense to cut him. It's a lot of money that they're going to have to eat, but I don't know. And to Rob says is agreeing. He doesn't see them eating nearly 90 million, and that was my thing too, Rob. I don't see the Yankees eating that much money, but then again, it's not my money. Whatever they want to do.
Remember, they cut A-Rod. They kind of forced him into a retirement.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of money due on his contract. I wouldn't be surprised. We have to wait and see. I'm just going by spring.
Were you talking about Stanton?
Yeah, Stanton and Rizzo. At the moment, the quality of at-bats aren't comparable. Rizzo's quality of at-bat, he's got his power, and he's seen the ball beautifully, and he's absolutely mashing. And Stanton, as I saw today, he's still late on that fastball, boy. He is not catching up to that fastball yet. I'm not making massive assumptions yet because I know it's only a week or two in, but that was his big problem last year. He wasn't catching up to the fastball. So until I'm confident in Stanton is going to catch up to this fastball, then I don't know. So listen, I'm a big Stanton fan. I got a Stanton jersey in my
Here's my thing.
I'm a Stanton fan, but
I don't know if this is just me.
Yeah, so Donald, I'm in agreement with you. I like Stanton, I really do. I like Giancarlo Stanton. I like the big man, I do. It's just I hope he has a bounce back year. I hope he performs better. I do feel good about the fact that he's probably not going to be on the injured list as much as other years because he did slim down quite a bit. So. I think that's gonna help him. And anytime an athlete slims down, they come down in that weight. It's so beneficial. They're making it so much easier on their body.
Well, follow that point because you're kind of an expert on the body because you train NFE fighters. So,
there is one thing I wanted to bring up
on
why I don't think they will cut him. Because the Marlins for the next 3 seasons owe him $30 million or are paying $10 million of that contract.
Yeah.
So if the Yankees cut him, then they'd lose that.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, again, we'll see what the Yankees do. And, I'm talking from experience, right? So, because when I first started training, I was like 25 to 30 pounds heavier. Right. So It was carrying that weight on my body. It was too much. And obviously, I mean, with what I was doing, it's something I've never done before. So my body started feeling weird. I was getting sore and whatnot. Um, I had dropped that weight. I started feeling better, but then it's like I gained some of it back, but I wasn't recovering properly. I wasn't.
Okay.
I was sore. I was tired. I was slow. Like I wasn't performing to my best level. But then once I dropped that weight, and then also the diet plays a role in it too, because diet is key, is
Yes.
absolutely key to performance. Once I dropped that weight, I started feeling better. My speed was a lot better. I was able to recover quickly. I mean, yeah, you're going to have your days where you're going to be sore as hell and tired as hell. I mean, that comes with any sport really, but you still like you have more energy. That's the big thing too, so just from
That's
my
a great point,
experience,
man.
huh?
That's a great point. That's why I wanted to ask you about that, because
Yeah.
Stanton was built like a Greek god, like a literal Greek statue, right? But to your point, he wasn't recovering quickly. It was
No.
just like he was tiring, and he could barely move to first base, and he could barely move in the outfield. And I don't think it's all to do with his legs, which aren't great. His lower half isn't great, but I think it's partly because he's just so freaking big. And over a long course of a season where you play 162 games, I don't know if his body was recovering. So that's really interesting. Do you think that might be what the aspect is, NFE?
Yeah, I think with him being built the way he was in the previous years, I think that was the reason why he was getting injured, right? Because being big has its benefits, but it also has its penalties as well. So,
Yeah.
And some of those bigger guys, I mean, I don't want to talk about football, but like those linemen, offensive linemen, they get hurt so easy. That's why like their careers are so damn short.
Yeah.
That they don't last very long, and it's the same thing with like running backs have a little bit of a longer career, granted, but those offensive linemen, though, I mean, their career span is what, 3 years, 4 years at best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with Stanton slimming down, I think it's just going to help. The main thing is I think it's going to help him avoid a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
He'll still get
Well,
hurt.
my example would be Julius Randle of the Knicks. He changed his body type. He's a big, cruising power forward, but he actually slimmed down and focused a lot on his diet. And now he's incredibly durable. Obviously, he's dislocated his shoulder, but that doesn't have anything to do with that. But other than that, he's incredibly durable, and he's actually a better player since he's lost that weight. So it's a good point.
And it's the same thing happened with with Aaron Judge. He dropped some weight, and he wasn't going to the IL as much. He was playing most games. He was staying healthy. So I'm just saying, like, losing weight has its benefits, especially at guys at their age, at the stage that they're playing at right now. Being slim is absolutely beneficial.
Do you think that's going to help Rodon, being that he's slimmed down?
Oh yeah, I think so. I look at Rodon, and when I saw him pitch, he looked a lot better on the mound. I mean, I know it's spring training, but he was taking control of that plate. He was taking command. He was taking his command. So he looks a lot healthier. I mean, he looked, that one spring training game was like, his performance was a hell of a lot better than any game that he pitched in the regular season.
Yeah.
Question for you, Mon.
Okay. So, although Sabathia wasn't the same when he slimmed down, I mean, yes, but he was also getting up there where he lost velocity, and he hadn't made the adjustment to learning how to pitch with finesse yet, because he was so used to pitching with power that it was a different kind of adjustment that he had to make. I mean, he eventually made it, but it took a little bit because that's a different kind of adjustment.
Yeah, let's also keep in mind too that Sabathia was also a little bit older, so if I'm not mistaken, I think because eventually age catches up with everybody. I mean that's just the way it is, and he also had some problems off the field too. So
alcohol,
that didn't really help his case, unfortunately.
No. And if you remember, he checked himself into rehab, so self-referral.
Yeah. And when he was pitching in some of those games, he was under the influence.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken,
that's true. And so was Stephen Wells, and he pitched a perfect game when he was pissed out of his head. So,
I guess not everybody could be Babe Ruth. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
But to Wig's point here, I actually say added years to Sabathia's career when he slimmed down because he changed the way he pitched. As you say, he wasn't the power dominant 9-inning. He could literally pitch all 9 innings like every start if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He could do it every couple of days. He was doing it for the Brewers. But he changed as he got older, and he slimmed down. He lost velo, so he changed who he was as a pitcher, and he was a bit more finesse and a bit more about pinpoint accuracy and location than just a power fastball.
Absolutely.
So slimming down was the only way that was going to work. So I have to.
He also saved his career. He saved his career by doing that, as well as giving up alcohol. So you got to give him that credit too. But the one thing I wanted to touch on, which you and I were talking about before the show started, Donald, was not just the swag, but just the difference in the clubhouse. Now that we have all the cancerous players gone, Hicks, Donaldson, all of them, they're now gone. We have fresh blood in. We have blood that's hungry, that wants to win. You've got Verdugo and Soto, who've both played on the biggest stages in the sport, whether it be the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry or the World Series. Have cool swag that I am here. I'm ready to play. I don't care who you are. I'm going to make you pay if you make a mistake. So I think that's also something important that we should touch on as well.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Anthony?
As far as the team chemistry goes, I mean, it's present. You see it. Those guys they're laughing. They're having a good time. They're out there performing. I mean, some of those guys showed up early to spring training to start work.
Rodon
everybody's did. Rodon did. Everybody's in a good mood. And something
they're
that
in
I
a good
pointed
place.
out yesterday was that
they're in a good place now.
Yeah. There's not a lot of drama. Like all that drama's gone. To Sean Browning's point, there's no Domingo Germán. There's no Josh Donaldson. There's none of that. There's none of that cancer stuff right now.
Assholes.
What was that?
There's no assholes. It's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's
fantastic. I pointed this out on Jason's live stream last night. Like you saw Aaron Judge's body language and his face. The last game he was interviewed before they played against the Orioles about how he was feeling. He was pissed. He wouldn't show it, but he was very calm about it, but he was pissed. And, when you have somebody who's calm but is pissed off, that's the most dangerous guy in the room. That much I do know. And then you saw him at the press conference, about recently. He was much happier because it was like, okay, how the team listened to me. Hal listened to me. He heard me out, and him and Cashman did what I had asked him to do. Right.
Yep.
So
and Cole's the same way. If you look at Cole's demeanor changed and did a complete 180. And Donald, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Cole looks even more locked in and focused now than he did last year in his Cy Young year. But he also looks like that weight is now off his shoulders because Hal and Cashman listen to him as well.
Yeah, Yeah,
I think it was an element of frustration. I think Judge and Cole were frustrated about the constitution of the team last year, and I think Cashman was a lot more open to talking to people. I think he sat down with Aaron Judge, sat down with Garrett Cole, and they exchanged ideas and thoughts. And
Yep.
I think it's cleared the air. And
Yeah.
but we talked off air. This is the best constituted Yankee lineup
Yes.
and Yankee roster in maybe well over a decade. I can't think of a better constituted team. There's a really nice mixture between
No,
lefties,
absolutely
righties. Really nice mixture between contact and power. Nice mixture between youth and experience.
Experience.
And you got two guys on a Hall of Fame trajectory. It's the best constituted team. And then
It
you've
really
also got
is.
Garrett Cole, who's going to be a Hall of Famer as well. If I look at this roster, and it's the best roster since 2009, and I don't think there's any question.
And Jose Molina put this in, and this is the perfect storm. Young, high promise players learning from Soto, a young, already established superstar and a champion. This is amazing. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it is the perfect storm. Absolutely. You got a guy like Juan Soto who's still young himself. Let's keep that in mind. But he's got the experience, though, in the majors. But now he can
more mature for his age.
Yeah, very mature for his age. And he can bring that. He can bring his knowledge to these young guys. To guys like Dominguez and Volpe. And whoever else is coming up. He can. A lot of these guys on the team can benefit from him.
And
so
this is the best. This is the best for me. This is the best farm system the Yankees have had since the dynasty.
Yep. Absolutely, this is the deepest we've been.
Yeah, there's more ready-made guys.
We have an overabundance in every single position, and we have never been able to say that. We have never been able to say that we have more major league ready kids in the minors today. Ever. That goes to the player development team. That goes to the scouting team. That goes to everybody in the minors who have worked with these kids to get them ready. And that is a testament to how deep this farm system is.
Yeah, you look at the infield depth. Look at the outfield depth. Infield depth, I can already name you. Vivas that can step in and be a second baseman next year. Peraza can step in and be our shortstop. We've already got Volpe. We can also name Arias. Arias is right there. He's such an exciting prospect. So that's just three right off the top of my head. There's more.
You have a ton of catchers.
And then catcher depth was something I was worried about. Not anymore. We got Rice. We got Wells. I love
Augustin Ramirez. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Augustin Ramirez.
Yeah.
And then on the pitching,
a very good catcher defensively. Yeah. He's athletic.
Every pitcher loves throwing to him.
Yeah, and that lefty swing is powerful.
Pretty swing. And then if you look to the pitching side, you've got Hampton, you've got Warren. I mean, you've got a pipeline of pitchers. Right, and that is something that is so refreshing to see, that we know that if someone goes down, we have the reinforcements. And something that we can say about this year that we haven't been able to say about previous years is that we have become a factory for ready-made prospects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing too is with these prospects that the Yankees have, because not all of them are going to be able to. Only positive or weak at it, position. Yeah. No, I hear you, Rob. But with these prospects that they have, they're not going to all get to play for the Yankees, right? I mean, they're not going to all make it on the team, but they could use these guys as trade pieces too to get some value back as well.
Yep.
So that's the
And
other.
That's right.
That's the
We're
beauty.
just
NFC
naming what we have right now. I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
all going to be walking into.
Yeah. I'm not saying. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the outfield depth. You got Pereira, you got Dominguez, you got Spencer Jones. That's just right off the top of my head. And you could move Spencer Jones over to first base. So look at that depth, man. We're just reeling off names at the top of my head, and all of these guys can contribute. And I've not even mentioned Osvaldo Cabrera. He's got limited upside, but he's someone that can play every position on the field. So.
And it's funny because you and I were talking earlier, NFE, and we said and I were talking about all those pitchers that we traded. Well, we got them back. It's like we didn't lose them because we got Victor Gonzalez, we got Caleb Ferguson, Nick Birdie, Cody Poteet, Cody Morris, Lou Trevino. Those are just 6 that I can name off the top of my head that we got to replenish what we lost. And that was so creative on Cashman's part. I finished what he gave up.
I missed that last bit there. You broke up there. Could you repeat that last bit? He's cut out again.
Yeah. No, so look, Cashman didn't. He did do a good job of, whatever pitching that the Yankees lost, he did a good job of making that up. Whether it's signings or trades, he got creative. He did get creative this offseason as far as that goes.
I'm glad you brought up Poteet. I like Poteet. Poteet looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poteet looks good. I think. I don't know if did he pitch today?
Yeah.
He kind of. I mean, I know he kind of got knocked around, but it's all right. With Matt.
This
Blake
is where you get the kinks out. This is where you get the kinks out, and I think Matt Blake is going to do just wonders with the guys that we brought in. And I'm really looking forward to Victor Gonzalez this year, the guy that we got from the Dodgers in that trade that we made where we gave him Trey Sweeney. And we got Yorbit Vivas. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Victor Gonzalez does. He's got a couple years of control left, has a very big arm, and I'm very excited about that.
Just to correct you there, Poteet actually pitched really, really well. He didn't pitch well.
Okay.
He went 2 innings, didn't go up any runs, 3 strikeouts. We can't touch on Marinaccio, though, who absolutely sucked. He didn't get any outs. He goes 0 outs and gave up 4 earned runs and 2 walks. He looked terrible, but Poteet looks really good.
Yeah, and Marinaccio, unfortunately, man, I don't know if he's that guy that we were all hoping for. I mean, he looked good in some games, right? At one point, he did look good, but I just don't know about him. I mean, maybe we give him another shot, but if it's going to be a repeat of what we saw last year, I don't know if he's that guy. I hate to say that. But.
There is one guy that we did sign that I'm also looking forward to seeing is Yuri De Los Santos. We got him from the Pirates. He's got 6 years of team control, and I am very excited to see how he can be a part of this bullpen. And I'm very excited to see how lively that kid's arm is. That is the one kid I am excited about.
Oh, Yuri De Los Santos. Yeah.
So many.
I know. I mean, I don't know. It's funny though. Cashman finds these arms.
Yeah, he does.
And we've never heard of these guys, and then they come to the Yankees, and all of a sudden they're just killing it.
Rock stars, yeah.
Rock stars.
It's like
absolute rock stars.
It's like great, and that's why we had one of the top bullpens last year, is because of his creativity and getting bullpen pitchers.
So guys like Jack Neely, who pitched really well today. Jack Neely, coming from Somerset, he pitched really well. He's someone to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, and the other guy that and Rob's gonna like this one, but is Birdie.
Yeah, Nick Birdie. That's
Oh,
the Nick Birdie. That's also another good one.
Yeah.
what the fuck, man? That break is
There you go, Rob.
ridiculous.
There you go, Rob. Do your happy dance, Rob.
There you go, Rob.
But yeah, no, Nick Birdie is another one. I mean, we have loaded this bullpen up with so many pieces. It is so nice to see because it's going to really give the guys who we do overuse that break when they need it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the overuse. I hope to God, I pray that Boone doesn't. If these guys are pitching well in the rotation, like I hope he doesn't pull
Let
them
him
out while
pitch.
they're.
Let him
Yeah.
pitch.
Let him pitch. Yeah, let him pitch. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but also too, I think starting pitchers these days, you can't say that about Cole, but they do get hurt a lot. I will
Yeah.
say that. I mean, Tommy John seems to be a very common thing now.
Oh yeah.
Where it wasn't always that way, but I would say over the last what do you guys think, like 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
They're even getting
Give or take.
At times now, they're actually getting them as kids as a preventative measure. Do you know what I mean? Get it out the way now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. It happens more than I
But-
care to admit.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we're going to go over one last topic, then wrap this up. What do you think of this year's team's overall dynamic? And when I say dynamic, I mean the overall support system that each player has. Because for me, that dynamic that they have this year is something that we haven't seen in a long time. What are your thoughts, Donald?
So what I've noticed is, for one, as critical as I have been of Aaron Boone, I have to say I like the way that he is projecting himself so
Yes.
far in spring.
Absolutely.
He talks a lot about his expectations, words that I've never seen him ever heard him use. I expect. I've never heard him ever say expect, which is great.
He's always said, I hope or we should, but never I expect.
And a lot of turning corners and a lot of kind of like
It's
looking
nice.
to the future kind of stuff. There's none of that now. It's very much here and now.
Yes.
And you can kind of see it. Like there's a different energy. Like, it does seem like the embarrassment of last year has really hit home to a lot of great veterans. And we've got a lot of proud veterans. Right, two of them off the top of my head, Rizzo and DJ LeMahieu.
Absolutely.
Proud veterans. And they were embarrassed. They were embarrassed by last year. The Yankees embarrassed themselves. Cashman embarrassed himself as a general manager. He had a terrible year. Had a terrible couple years. Let's be honest. And Aaron Boone, so did he. He embarrassed himself as a manager. He had a terrible couple of years. But it just seems like there's a different energy. They're just they're more locked in. They're coming in slimmer, more motivated, and they're all talking about this is it. This is the year. Like there just seems like it's not, we'll see what happens, or no, it's like, let's go get this thing done. I love to hear it. And even when I hear Aaron Boone talk for the Yes Network during the interviews during the game, it's not
scripted. It's coming.
It's not scripted. Yeah. That's it. He just seems a little bit more locked in, and he does seem to know what's going on because he's spot on with the things that he's pointing out. So he just seems like a different manager, and the reason why I'm pointing out Aaron Boone first of all is because it starts from the top. Leadership starts from the top, and it starts with Brian Cashman, Hal Steinbrenner, and then it trickles down to your manager, and then down to the players, your most experienced players, the captain, etc. Aaron Judge has carried himself like an absolute king
Yes,
this
yes,
offseason because he was the first person to welcome Soto, and Soto's been made to feel at home, and a lot of it is down to the way that Aaron Judge has handled being a captain in his first full
absolutely.
year of being a captain. He's really taken that, and you can tell like
He's embraced
he's
it.
been great. Yeah, he's been great. Cashman has been very vocal and accountable, and it's great. And so is Hal Steinbrenner. So everything that I have been complaining about as a fan, uh, knowing that I've seen a team that's been at its best in the 90s and then in the noughties and then kind of died down after it. I, they have they're starting to get their expectations back again. They're starting to talk about the expectations, and it's great to see. There just seems to be a different motivation, different energy, and a lot of it comes down to chemistry. They don't have any assholes
No,
in this roster, which is great. There's no Aaron Hicks. There's no Josh Donaldson. There's no Dominguez. There's some dudes that love to work hard and play
yep,
hard. So it's going to be great. I have nothing
absolutely.
but the highest expectations for this team. I think this team can go really far this year.
Yes. NFE?
I mean, you look at the dynamic of the team. I mean, let's look at it. I mean, everybody's laughing. You know, everybody's having a good time. They're having fun. Like that's the thing. They're having fun. They're enjoying playing the game. You know, you look at the team last year. It was just like they all looked miserable. Nobody. It looked like nobody wanted to go out there and play. Right. You know, Boone definitely, you know, this is the best I feel like he's ever felt, but that's because you have to remember Boone was given a garbage team last season. So
Yes.
I don't always agree with his decisions. Okay, I do defend Boone, but and I'll say this: I don't always agree with his decisions. There's decisions that he makes that I'm just like, what are you doing? But when you give him a roster like that, like he doesn't know what to do. Like you put Joe Girardi or Joe Torre, it wasn't going to be any better.
No.
It would have been a little bit better, but you're right.
Not by much though, man.
It would have been a little better, but because they hold people accountable, and
Yeah,
Yes.
there's that leadership that Boone just hasn't had. He just doesn't have a plan B. His plan A is to love players, make them feel comfortable, be their friend, and stuff like that. But when you need your manager to kind of get at you and grill you a little bit and light a fire under your ass, that's never been him. It's never been his bag. But I'm getting a better vibe from him this year. But that was something that Joe Torre always had. Is like he was kind of seen as a grandfather, but it was someone that you never wanted to upset because he knew how to light you on fire if required. Joe Girardi, same thing. So that's something that Boone needs to be a little bit better at, and that's one of the reasons why he has not won us a championship, and B not had us take that next step. So that's
Yeah,
what I need to see from Aaron Boone this year, and I'm starting to get a better sense of that. He just seems a
absolutely.
little bit more
yeah,
serious, a little bit more locked in, and that's what I want to see.
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
Um,
that's
yeah,
the
go ahead.
thing. So, yeah, no, I was just gonna say. So I just think that the just the overall environment of the team is a lot better. And you know, like I said, Boone, the way he's talking to the press, the way when he's being interviewed, whoever you know he's interviewing, like they're all, you know, it's a much different it's a much different Aaron Boone.
Agreed.
He's feeling a
Yeah,
lot better about this team, but and you know Cashman is he's feeling great about it. He knows that last season was an absolute disaster. I mean, and he didn't. There was no denying it. And Hal said the same thing. Hal Steinbrenner said this team was a disaster, was an embarrassment. You know, he knows that he's holding himself accountable too, because he said the pressure's on. You know, on him, on Cashman, on Boone. All three of them are all under pressure right now, and they need however they perform, however they perform this year, it definitely needs to be a hell of a lot better than last year, and it will be better. It will be better.
Yeah.
But I just think the overall dynamic of this team is just nothing but positivity. That's all I could really say. Everybody's more optimistic, a little more energetic, a little more motivated. There's so much of that. It's like they don't. I mean, I know it's only spring training, but it's like, I feel like going into the regular season, they're not going to look so worn down and beat up.
Yeah.
So health is the key with this team. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Donald,
Yep.
NFE, you guys are absolute rock stars. Thank you guys for holding it down for me again. Guys, if you have not done so, please subscribe to the Pinstripe Chronicles with Uncle Tats, Rob, and Donald. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on Sundays, you got Chris and Lynn with the Upper Deck. And then you also have NFE of the Strike Zone. He is on his way to 500 subscribers. If you have not subscribed, what are you doing? Do so now. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, have a great rest of your night, and we will see you guys next time.